What's up, you guys? I'm Nikki Simone, Princess of the City. We're getting ready to hop into a Read With Me by SULA. We're getting ready to hop into a Read With Me entitled SULA by Toni Morrison. If you read this book before, drop two of the little twin girlies emojis in the comment section below. If you got this book, read along with me. I'm already halfway through the book. Um, it's unexpected. It's unexpected. Like, you did not expect the stuff to be happening in this book that's happening in this book. Um, but with that being said, you guys, let's hop into it. Like I said, we is going to put up a 30-minute read with me to knock out SULA by Toni Morrison. And I do believe they said SULA has, they do believe they said Toni Morrison has 11 books or 12 other books or something like that. This is my first book by Toni Morrison, so I feel like because I'm getting through this one so fast, I feel like I would like to read the rest of her books. But yeah, like I say, SULA Morrison's oh, backstory. This is what I like to do. Now, I like when I get new books, I'm going to read you guys the insert on the back of it. I hope you guys can hear me. I don't know. I hope you guys can hear me. But the back of it says, so only thing I knew about the book when I first got it was that it's a book about two girls who grew up real best friends. A book about two girls who grew up real close best friends. And I knew that somewhere along the line their relationship ended up going left. I did not know none of the back. I didn't know why. I didn't know what. Only thing I knew was like it was about two friends who was really great best friends, inseparable. And then as they got older, they bond started to basically go in different directions. That's the only thing I knew about the book, right? Right. And then I started doing a little research on it, and I realized that it's about two best friends in which one of them is going to sleep with somebody's husband, and then yeah, like I like what, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now that I'm reading the book, I'm like, bro, how bonded they was. It's like, how do you even do something like that because of how bonded they was? But anyways, let me read you guys the back of the story. It say two girls who grew up to become women, two friends who become something worse than enemies. In this brilliant and magic novel, Nobel Prize laureate Toni Morrison tells the story of Nell Wright and Sulla Peace, who meet as children in a small town of Medallion, Ohio. Their devotion is fierce enough to withstand bullies and the burden of a dreadful secret. It endures even after Nell has grown up to be a pillar of the black community, and Sulla has become a pariah. But their friendships ends in an unforgivable betrayal. Does it end? Terrifying, comic, rebel, and tragic. Sulla is a work that flows with life. Okay, and then there's this girl on TikTok who she be reading a book, right? And she be reading it like, oh, it was a Wednesday in August, and the ice wagon was coming and coming. You can hear bits of the driver's song. Now, Miss Jackson would be tipping down her porch steps, just a piece. You got a little old piece laying around in there, and you could spare. And that's how the girl on TikTok read it, right? And so I kind of like used her as research when I was first watching the I used her as research when I was looking the book up, and because I was listening to her read the book like it made me feel like, yo, I want to read the book. So now I read the book in her tone of voice. I read the book like she read the book on TikTok because it just make it make sense. It's like, oh, maybe that's how we were supposed to be reading the book anyway, type stuff. So, like I said, I've been talking a lot, so let's hop into it. SULA by Toni Morrison. Like I say, I am halfway through the book. I have made it to year 1930 or 1923. And sometimes I be talking fast, but one girl on Texas say ain't talking fast. You listening slow. So, all right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. To it, to it. people is crazy. Like, what? These people is crazy. Honestly, it's like people just be killing people and nobody call the police, nobody tell nobody. It's like people just die and then people just live with like, and they just live with like the secret or whatever. Okay, one of the good things about the book is like they got these kids in it. They call it the Deweys, right? And they like three triplets. It remind me of Three Stooges, where like they got all three of them, and they always bad. They always getting into something. But the funny thing in the book is they call Deweys. All three of them name is Dewey, right? And since they've been growing up, they made it to where you can't tell them apart. But they say you gotta tell them apart because one of them black, one of them white, one of them Mexican. But they move so much into like one accord to where you can't tell them apart, if that makes sense. And they call it the Deweys. So that's funny. Sorry about that. That's how old school. He comes through every now and then. I be having to put his minutes on his phone for him. Okay, what we at? What we at? I'm not just what? This is hard. This is hard. It's hard. Like, oh my goodness. Hey, y'all, thank y'all for joining my live. We reading SULA by Toni Morrison. If you're reading this book, drop us some of them twins in the comment section below. Because it's crazy around here. It's crazy around here. In the old year of 1927, old people were dancing with little children. Funny, man. I almost thought that was raining. Like, what? What's I did not know what was raining. Hey. Got that building a new road. Got that building a new road. get to the good part. Let's get to the good part. Get to the good. Let's get to the good part. Hey y'all, thank you for joining my live. We is reading SULA by Toni Morrison. She lost her mama burnt up and her grandmother died from blood, from a loss of blood. Okay, so I guess we get to the part where now, like, they finally. Okay, so all of part one, we finally made it to part two. I guess all of part one is just giving us background information on like how they friendship, how they been so close bonded. You talk about like we figure out like the secret that they've been having all these years. You find out like what happened to their parents. You figure out like what kind of household they was living in, what kind of household they was brought up in. You realize that SULA always wanted to be in their house, and they always wanted to be at SULA house. Thank y'all for giving me likes on the live. And so now Neil is just now getting married to a guy named Jude. Nell is getting married to a guy named Jude. And SULA is basically like this is where they splitting up. Like now they didn't grown, they didn't graduate school, they didn't graduate general school, which is high school, I'm assuming. And now Nell is getting married to a guy named Jude. But because Nell and Jude is getting married, so SULA is basically, I guess it's like okay, you know, it's been them all along, and SULA helped Nell get Jude, but now they married and they get separated, if that makes sense. Now Nell is married and her and SULA is getting separated because she got a husband. She got to go live her wifely duties life or whatever. This is what I'm assuming. Only thing I know it says like once Nell get married to Jude, SULA not gonna see her again for 10 years. And I guess that's what we're gonna get into on part two. Um, because we gotta figure out like why this friendship ends up going left. We gotta figure out why this friendship ends up going left. But so far It's very good, unexpected. Like, you would not expect the stuff that be going on in this book to be going on, like I said before. And I'm not gonna tell y'all what's all happening because I want y'all to read it. This is the book. I do want you guys to read it for yourself. And like I say, it's a real easy read, y'all. It's a real easy read, and it's like shocking because you like, yo, nobody gonna do nothing about that. Like, you gonna drown a baby or whatever the case may be, and nobody gonna do nothing about it. Y'all don't got polices. Y'all don't have polices. Y'all don't have I mean, they got ambulances, and it seems as if like they don't got phones and stuff like that, because when something bad happens, a person gotta kind of like, when something bad happens, a person gotta run all the way to another person's house to use their phone. Anyways, you guys, that's pretty much the end of the read with me for today. We already made it to part two. Um, SULA by Toni Morrison. Sometimes I'll be talking fast, y'all, but I'm not talking fast. You're listening slow, like the girl on TikTok said. If you read this book before, drop me some comments down below. If it's the book that you're interested in, drop those little twin girlies in the comment section below. I don't even know if they still got that as emoji, but I'm pretty sure they do. So, yeah, this is SULA by Toni Morrison. I'm Nike Simone, Princess of a City, and I'll see you guys in my next read with me. How do I, how do I cut this off?